Hello, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Becca and today I have my March book haul. Okay, so funny story this month in that once again I wasn't going to do a book haul. I only had 2 books that I brought brand new and I was like, well, they can wait, it's only 2 books. But something happened at the library this month. Back in January, if you follow me on Twitter, you will know that I asked for recommendations of a sci-fi to read in February. Alex from Alex's Fiction Addiction recommended The Loneliest Girl in the Universe by Lauren James. So I reserved that. It is now, while I am filming this, 17th of March. I reserved that book halfway through January and it still has not come in. So a couple of weeks ago, I thought, well, if my reservations aren't really going to come in or they're going to come in really slowly, then I might as well reserve a ton of stuff that I want to read, because then by the time it actually comes in, I'll have space to read it and it'll be like a surprise. Hey, look, there's a book here for you to read now. So I reserved about 5 books and then they all came in 2 weeks. So I have an excessive library haul for me. I only wanted to get 1 book out a month, but I have all these books out now. And then also, like what happened last month, on the day that I was gonna like film my library haul and the 2 books I'd bought, I bought some books secondhand. So now instead of having 2 books in total, I have 12 to haul for you guys. So I guess we better get straight into it. I'm going to start off with the library books, and the first one is a non-fiction and it is The Greek Myths by Robin Waterfield. This is essentially just a breakdown of all the Greek myths and it's split into sections. So I've read sort of the Olympians, the Titans, and now I'm up to the Age of Heroes. So this is really interesting and it reads to me like if a religious text was a fantasy novel, and I love it so much. I'm really into mythology right now because of this book. I've always been interested in learning about it, but I never actually have. So this has got me super interested and wanted to read more mythology. So because I had this one out, I wanted to learn about other types of mythology, like ancient Rome, Norse mythology, Egyptian mythology. So I reserved Norse Mythology by Neil Gaiman, which I believe is I'm not sure if they're retellings or reimaginings, but I think they do stick pretty close to the original myths from, I believe Norse is like Germany, and it's like Thor and Loki and things like that. So this is probably one of the areas of mythology I know the least about because I'm not into Marvel, so I haven't watched any of the Avengers films apart from the first Thor, and that's because Chris Hemsworth, and I didn't understand what was going on, so yeah. But I'm excited to get to this one pretty soon. For a Neil Gaiman book, like I thought it was going to be really long, but it's only about 260 pages, so I can fly through this. You may have seen in my last maybe wrap up, I said that I was I'd finished Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda and that I was going to read Leah on the Offbeat, but I wasn't interested in The Upside of Unrequited. A few of you have told me that I have to read The Upside of Unrequited, so I was like fine, and I reserved that from the library. Also came in, so soon I will be reading The Upside of Unrequited by Becky Albertelli. I don't know what this is about, I'm literally reading it because you told me to. I know it's very diverse. I'm not sure about race, but I believe the main character may be bisexual and asexual, and she has lesbian mothers. I don't know much else apart from that, but I do know it's really, really diverse. And I believe that the main character and some of the other characters in this are sort of side characters from Simon, so I'm interested to see how that all intertwines. I also have What Is Not Yours Is Not Yours by, ready for me to butcher this name, Helen Oyeyemi? Is that right? I don't know. This is from a Black British author and it is a collection of short stories about keys. I believe it is magical realism, although I'm not really sure. I believe that this is recommended by either Squibbles Reads, Books and Lala, or both. I want to read more short story collections and it did sound quite interesting with the magical realism, and it sounded very bizarre in the way that Haruki Murakami's writing is, so I thought I would give it a go. The spine is absolutely destroyed on this, which is a shame because it's such a pretty book. But I have no idea what to expect from this and I will be reading this soon as well. Then we had the 2 books that I actually intended to buy this month, and I got these from Waterstones. I actually only paid £5 for the both of them because I had some credit because I'd filled my stamp card and I used my Waterstones points. The first one is the book I actually went in there intentionally to buy, and that is the Strange the Dreamer paperback by Laini Taylor. As you guys know, Ryan has recommended that I read this month, and so I will be reading it either late March, early April, but I'm definitely excited to get into this. It's also over 500 pages, which I wasn't aware of. So I'm quite nervous about that. I'm going to knock a few smaller books off my TBR before I tackle this one. And this one is about, I believe he's an archivist called Laszlo Strange, who is obsessed with this forgotten city and nobody remembers the name of it and they call it Weep. Don't know anything else about it, don't really want to. I've just heard it's absolutely amazing and the writing is beautiful and I can't wait to dive in. And then I did get City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty because it's in little hardback, so it fits on my shelves, unlike normal size hardbacks which just don't. And this, I believe, I've heard a little bit about it on BookTube, but I try not to listen too much about books I'm actually interested in because I don't want to know things about the plot that I wouldn't otherwise. But I believe that this is set in Egypt. And if it's the book I think it is, a girl summons a genie and she's not supposed to be able to, and they go to the City of Brass. I don't know what that means. But also another book I bought over 500 pages. I don't know why I'm doing this to myself. And I may be reading this soon for my Empty Shelfie challenge, but it depends how well I do in the month. So we'll see about this one, but I'm really excited to read it. And then the second-hand books I've got, I'm just going to blast through the first 3 because they're all from the same series and they don't really need a synopsis breakdown from me. I'm not sure how like wide and low my frame goes, but if you can see the Game of Thrones Song of Ice and Fire I have here, I've got 1, 2, 3 and 7. And from a charity shop today I picked up 4 A Storm of Swords, 5 A Feast for Crows and 6 A Dance with Dragons Part 1. So now I have all of them in this gorgeous landscape set. The spines on these are a little more cracked and dented than the ones I own, but I'm sure I'm going to crack and dent them myself anyway because they're massive, so what does it matter? Still have no idea when I'm actually going to read Game of Thrones. I kind of wanted to do it before the last season comes on television, but then I thought, well, they don't follow the season anymore. They don't follow the books anymore anyway, so is there really any point? But I do want to get to these soon. I'm thinking of doing a thing where when I get 10 books ahead on Goodreads, I'm going to do like a page 112 tag with all of my tomes and pick one to read, so I'm kind of excited to do that. And obviously Game of Thrones will be included in the try page, so we'll see how that goes. And then, as I said, with the Greek myth book I've got and Norse mythology, I'm really into myths at the minute, and I picked up The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, and this I did kind of want to read because I know The Little Book Owl and possibly Pierre Ford and has the book pusher, Maddie at the Book Pusher, also been talking about it. But I've heard from multiple people that this is really good, and now that I'm on a roll with mythology, I kind of want to read this. This is about Achilles and Patroclus? I'm not sure how you say that one. And it is about the war in Troy, I think. I'm not sure, but Greek mythology, great reviews. I'm excited. Okay, this is one that I know absolutely nothing about, but it is like a literary masterpiece, and I was like, okay, well, I've got to at least try it. That is The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. Literally know nothing about it. I'm pretty sure that people say not to know a lot about it when you go into it. I knew this was hefty, but I've just flicked through and it's like over 800 pages and the text is small, so that's kind of sad, but I'm hoping I like this, and I have no idea when I get to this. It won't be for a while probably, but it's good to have it. And last but not least, I got Let It Snow by John Green, Maureen Johnson and Lauren Miracle, which would be perfect to read today because it's snowing outside again, unfortunately. I've not heard great things about this. It's just 3 short stories set in winter and I think they all intertwine, but it's the only John Green book that I don't have, so I picked this one up. So that's everything for another crazily large haul from me. I do hope you liked it. Please let me know if you've read any of these books and what you think, although no spoilers please. As usual, please don't forget to like this video if you liked it and subscribe if you want to. If you head into the description box below, you'll find a link to my Goodreads Instagram and Twitter if you'd like to follow me on any of those, as well as a link to my Bookish body butter and candle website and the Instagram for that if you'd like to check any of that out. That's it from me today. Bye!